Welcome to True Crime Capital. On the 24th of February 2023, 3 days after she was reported missing, a 28-year-old Hong Kong socialite and model named Abby Choi was found murdered with her headless body discovered at a village in Tai Po, a suburb in Hong Kong. Reportedly, some of her body parts were hidden inside a refrigerator and some of them were cooked. This is the story of the worst former in-laws on the face of the planet, in my opinion. This is the sad and heartbreaking story of Abby Choi.
The search for Abby Choi's missing body parts continues after her dismembered body was found in a village house in Tai Po. Sources say police have located the head in a soup pot that was removed earlier from the village house.
Just a disclaimer, this video was put together in the first week of March 2023, while the events of this case occurred on the 21st of February 2023. Thus, there's still a lot of information that will still come out as the investigation continues. Thus, what's reported in this video is information that was available at the time this video was filmed. Born on the 11th of July 1994, making her a Cancer, Choi was a well-known model and influencer with more than 100,000 followers on Instagram. After cementing herself as an influencer, she subsequently expanded her career into mainstream media. She was also known as a fashion icon who could mix and match pieces in ways that made her a trendsetter. She also regularly attended the Paris Fashion Week and had been featured on several magazines including Elle, Harper's Bazaar, and Vogue. Less than 2 weeks before her death, Choi was featured on the cover of a fashion and luxury lifestyle magazine, Elle Officiel Monaco. Choi was the eldest of 3 daughters who grew up in Hong Kong. Her family was wealthy and had construction business with dealings in China. The model had a personal net worth of more than 100 million Hong Kong dollars, which is just over $12 million. Choi married Alex Hong when she was 18 years old and had 2 children during their 3-year-long marriage before it ended with a divorce. And in 2016, at the age of 22, Choi married her current husband, Chris Tam, whose father is the founder of the restaurant chain Tam Jai Yanen Mission, and she had 2 more children with Tam. Despite their divorce, Choi maintained a close relationship with her former husband and his family. She had even hired her former husband's brother as her chauffeur. Choi was reported missing after she had failed to pick up her daughter from school as she normally did, and she last entered the car driven by her hired driver, who's also her ex-brother-in-law. So what really happened? On the 21st of February 2023, Choi was collected by her chauffeur, also her brother-in-law, to pick up her daughter from school as she normally did. But after she failed to show up at her child's school, her family grew worried and reported her as missing to the police.
When a routine school pickup led to Abby's murder. After being declared missing for several days, police uncovered the dissected body of Ms. Choi in a fridge at a village house in suburban Hong Kong. The investigation led detectives to 2 pots filled with soup, and under the surface was Abby's severed head and ribs.
Since her driver was the last person known to have picked her up, he was the police's first point of reference. Upon locating him and inspection of the 7-seater vehicle, blood splatters were found inside. The investigation then led the police to a village house in Tai Po district, where they found parts of her body in a refrigerator. Body parts were also recovered from one of the 2 large soup pots that the police found in the 3-story house. One of the pots was covered with thick fat, some radishes, and carrots. The meat is believed to be human flesh. Human bones and a skull were found in another pot. According to investigators, DNA tests and dental records will be used to determine if they belong to Choi. A meat grinder, an electric saw, and 2 soup pots containing human tissue, along with 2 types of meat cleavers, a hammer, other tools, and face shields were also found on the property. Superintendent Alan Chang of Hong Kong Kowloon West District Regional Crime Unit told the media that a hole measuring 2.6 inches by 2.2 inches was found at the back of the skull. Forensic experts believe that it was the result of a fatal blow that killed her. So what needs to be confirmed in court is whether she died immediately when she got attacked in the car and was only taken to the house to be dismembered, or if she was still alive when she was attacked in the car and was killed when she arrived at the house. What is clear is that she died on the 21st of February 2023, the same day she went missing.
The body part that we found were inside the refrigerator. There were 2 legs belong to a female. We are still looking for the head, and there are also other body parts that are missing. For example, the torso area, the hand, those are still missing.
By the time of finalizing this video, Abby's torso and hands were still yet to be found. According to Hong Kong police, they had arrested a total of 5 suspects for the alleged murder of Choi. The police first arrested 3 suspects on the 25th of February 2023. One of them was Choi's former brother-in-law, Anthony Kong, who was her hired driver, while the other 2 were the first suspect's parents, who both used to be Choi's parents-in-law before she divorced her first husband, Alex Kong Chi. Anthony Kong and his father were both charged with murder, while the mother was charged with preventing the cause of justice. After a citywide manhunt by police, with a reward amounting to approximately 2 million Hong Kong dollars, Alex Kong became the 4th to be arrested after he unsuccessfully tried to escape Hong Kong by boat. It was alleged that the death of Choi was masterminded by her former father-in-law, a former policeman who was also previously accused of rape. On the 27th of February 2023, the police proceeded with the murder charges against Alex Kong as well. All 4 suspects were officially charged in court, were denied bail and will be held in custody pending investigations. Their cases are adjourned to the 8th of May 2023. The police have also arrested a 47-year-old woman called Angie in connection to the case. She's suspected to be the lover of Kong's father. It is not known yet if she knew of the murder. The police suspect Angie helped Choi's ex-husband evade the police. She was said to have helped hide Alex Kong before his apparent attempt to flee Hong Kong. The search for the other missing hand and torso and other remaining parts remain ongoing. More than 100 officers were mobilized to search for the other missing body parts. So I bet you're wondering, why was Choi murdered? Media reports suggest that even after the divorce, Choi supported Kong's family. Her former in-laws lived in a luxury apartment that she owned. At some point, she helped her former brother-in-law purchase a house of his own. The same former brother-in-law that worked as her chauffeur and allegedly is the one that fetched her from her house on the day that she went missing.
It was revealed that there had been arguments over the handling of her financial assets, which led to the murder.
Officials say that the motive to kill could be many financial disputes involving huge sums between victim and her ex's husband's family.
Her former in-laws were reportedly unhappy with how the mother of 2 handled her financial assets. Police allege that dispute turned deadly last week.
Cops believe the gruesome murder was partly connected to Choi's plans to sell property in an upscale neighborhood she'd purchased, but placed in her former father-in-law's name to save taxes. Her husband's family reportedly lived on the property. Authorities believe Choi's former brother-in-law offered her a ride to pick her daughter up from school, but instead knocked her out in that vehicle and drove her to the home where she would be butchered.
While the details around the motive are to be confirmed, local media reports say that Choi could have been murdered over a luxury property dispute that her former in-laws lived in. Choi's decision to sell the 70 million Hong Kong dollars property, which equates to $9 million US, enraged her former father-in-law, and he reportedly started to plot her murder. According to the laws of Hong Kong, a conviction for murder carries a mandatory sentence of life imprisonment. Originally, the death penalty was the sole legal punishment for murder in Hong Kong before it was abolished in 1993, allowing judges to instead impose life sentences as the permissible penalty for murder. In conclusion, Choi's current husband, with whom she had 2 children, remembered her as a wife and mother who was often attentive and caring for her family, and stated he would take care of the children, including his 2 stepchildren. Choi's current father-in-law also regarded her as a daughter who was not his own, but whom he doted on. Similarly, Choi's mother also made tributes to her eldest daughter and talked about the good memories she shared with her daughter, whom she described as filial.
People paid tribute to the 28-year-old victim by performing a Taoist ritual behind the police cordon. Tam burnt incense and bowed, as did his mother, Choi's mother, and other relatives. There was a heart-wrenching moment when the model's mother cried that she would never see her daughter again.
Choi also engaged in philanthropy by co-founding Pure Man's charitable organization, a group dedicated to help stray animals. The school where Choi's children attended also stated that counseling sessions would be provided to her children and any other students affected by the horrific nature of the crime.
A good friend of the victim wrote on social media on behalf of Choi's current husband and in-laws, saying Choi was kind and humble, and he's grateful that she had come into his life.
I do have confidence in the Hong Kong's justice system, and it is my hope that all the greedy evil people involved in Choi's death are brought to book and never see the light of day. and that her family, especially her 4 children, can find healing and go on and lead happy and successful lives. I will keep you updated on the outcome of the case. If you found this video informative, do go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you soon.